Seoul, South Korea, a thriving, throbbing, upscale city of 12 million people, 20 million if you count the surrounding suburbs. Seoul and its suburbs make up the second largest metropolis in the world. Tokyo is first. During the week of May 11 through 18, 2010, 8 delegates from the Pacific Northwest Conference of the United Church of Christ and the Northwest region of the Disciples of Christ were hosted by our partners, the churches of the Seoul East Presbytery of the PROK, the Presbyterian Church in the Republic of Korea. Our hosts introduced us to a sumptuous variety of authentic Korean foods, boiled egg soup, an unpronounceable variety of fish delicacies. Kathy Helseth sampled her first and last taste of baby octopus. And of course the ubiquitous kimchi, a Korean staple served with virtually every meal. Many families, we were told, even have separate kimchi-only refrigerators. It was an opportunity for all of us to brush up on our chopstick skills. Mine still need a great deal of improvement. We were warmly greeted by the children and staff of the Children's House of Yangmo-ri Church, a preschool operated by the church and one of the many ministries of the churches of the PROK. They were expecting us. Welcome signs and banners were displayed in the entry and lobby, and the children sang songs while waving Korean and American flags. Delegate Kathy Helseth, a child care professional herself, noted that the quality of the child care, the instruction, and the love for the children was very evident. The education system in Korea is hailed as a model and studied by other countries. Korea's high school graduation rate of 96% is the highest in the world, compared to a 70% rate in the United States. The Sarang School at Sudo Church is a school for special needs children, or disordered children, as referred to by the Koreans. This school, founded by the church in response to a need not previously addressed by the government, is a major undertaking and expression of commitment to all children, and is now heavily subsidized by government funds. An important ministry supported by the church is situated near strips of shadowy nightclubs located adjacent to U.S. military bases. It's called Jurabang, the Korean term for my sister's place. It's a counseling center that provides medical and legal assistance to women trapped in the Camptown sex trade, offers transportation to safe shelters, rehabilitative resources, occupational training, language classes, and art therapy. My Sister's Place is an official designated partner of global ministries of the United Church of Christ and the Christian Church Disciples of Christ.
My government get funded through NGO to the women in sex trafficking. So we got the fund from my government each year. So through that fund we provide medical support and legal support.
We sampled Korean culture and were treated to an authentic Korean dance and music production called Miso at Seoul's renowned Cheongdong Theater. While photos of the actual performance inside the theater were prohibited, the performers danced outside after the show, where photos with the performers were encouraged. Our visit coincided with the preparations for the upcoming celebration of Buddha's birthday. Workers were busy putting the final touches on displays at the Chogaejong Temple in Seoul. Festive decorative lanterns honoring Buddha are prominent throughout the land. We visited a Buddhist temple site on the east coast of Korea, south of the coastal resort community of Sokcho. As part of the celebration of Buddha's birthday, Cheonggai Stream through the middle of downtown Seoul was decorated with numerous large lanterns, creating a dreamlike atmosphere with colorful lights shining brightly in the dark. Large lanterns were placed on several platforms in the middle of the stream, perfect to take photos with or simply walk and appreciate the lights. Against the backdrop of the Buddhist festival celebration and the upbeat mood which seems to characterize much of South Korea,
South Korea accused North Korea of firing a torpedo that sank a naval warship in March, killing 46 sailors.
the continuous awareness and threat of the unpredictable regime of North Korea is always present. Reunification of the two Koreas is the top priority of the churches of the PROK, a dream that was dealt a serious setback with the sinking of the Chonan, a South Korean Navy frigate, just weeks before our arrival. That threat was ever present in everyone's minds as we traveled the short 50 miles north to Panmunjom and the DMZ, the demilitarized zone, which separates the two Koreas, countries which are still technically at war with each other. Passports are checked at Camp Bonifaz before entering the United Nations Joint Security Area, where the conference building is located in Panmunjom.
That is North Korean building.
From inside this building, visitors are allowed to actually stand in North Korea under the watchful eye of motionless, silent sentries. Then a brief stop at the Bridge of No Return on the way out, where prisoners of war were exchanged at the end of the Korean hostilities. Then past the tallest flagpole in the world just across the DMZ in North Korea at a place dubbed Propaganda Village, because no one lives there. Another bridge of historic significance is here in the village of Mjengak, 5 miles from the DMZ. It's the Freedom Bridge, a former railroad bridge used by repatriated POWs and soldiers returning from the north. Prayer banners for family reunification are hung on a chain-link fence separating South from North Korea. Mjengak is a popular tourist destination, seen as a symbol of hope for eventual reunification of the two Koreas. It's surrounded by several statues and monuments, including a train locomotive that was attacked at the end of the war.
Halfway down.
Hold still.
Okay.
MNTV is an internet television service providing multilingual advice, consultation, and help for the million or so migrant workers in Korea from 15 different countries, many of whom are undocumented or have overstayed their work visas, none of whom receive services or assistance from the government. In addition to the television service, a network of 11 migrant worker centers throughout Korea provide free legal consultations, computer training, Korean language studies, kindergarten, and after-school programs for children of migrant workers, as well as free dental and medical care at a migrant worker hospital. This extraordinary ministry is the brainchild of the Reverend Kim Hae-song, a charismatic, energetic social activist committed to serving what he describes as the weaker members of society. Called the Global Village, the program is a non-profit organization dependent on generous donations from individuals, churches, and corporations. Gangwon Cemetery is revered by many as the holiest place in Korea by the Christian Church, a place of rest and honor for scores of foreign missionaries who dedicated their lives to helping Korea. A bit of time for some sightseeing. A visit to Seoraksan National Park on the Korean East Coast. That featured a cable car ride up the mountain and a rock hike at the top for the adventuresome in the group. A stroll through a popular shopping district in Seoul. A visit to the observation platform on the Seoul Tower overlooking the city. And posing with the mothers of the bride and groom on their way to a wedding ceremony.
I've got the joy, joy, joy.
Our return journey back to Seoul from the East Coast took a bit longer than expected. The trip was delayed for a few hours after our bus broke down. A mechanic from Sokcho was called in to replace a broken radiator thermostat. Sunday was a day of worship at our host churches and preaching for some. John Williams presented a communion chalice to our host, Songpa Church, from his congregation in Tacoma, and I presented a peace candle, a gift from Suquamish United Church of Christ and the Pacific Northwest Conference of the UCC, inscribed with the words "Imagine Peace" in Korean and English.
I've got the joy, 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 joy.
We had a final emotional blessed goodbye fellowship on our last evening, where gifts were exchanged, prayers of safe travels were said, and new friendships were celebrated. It was an extraordinary week in the lives of all of us from the United States as well as Korea. As we began our travels home, we did so knowing our time together had been rich and blessed by God. 감사합니다, Korea. Thank you.
감사합니다. 감사. 우리 원가